Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video, we're gonna be drawing Gardevoir. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it, guys. But yeah, so as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like, or she ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, that way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys can get all your details. And just remember, guys, to do your line slide, not press too hard, that way you guys could erase your sketch, because that's what basically we're gonna start off, and then from there you guys are gonna do your final drawing. And remember, guys, if the video is too fast, then just pause the video as you go, and if it's too slow, then you could just skip throughout the video. So remember that you guys always have those options. But yeah, guys, so first of all, we're just gonna start off by a few shapes. So just try to do a circle. Here you guys see me trying to do like a perfect one. It's not easy doing a perfect one, but just try your best, just because we are gonna base some things off this circle. So the better that you guys make it, the easier it's gonna be to follow the tutorial. So just keep that in mind. So right here, I keep going over and over, and then once I am happy with it, then I just erase all those extra lines. So right here, guys, around there, right there, we're gonna just basically cut off a part of the circle, and that's just for the head. If you guys don't want to do it this way, you guys could always just wait or skip a little bit ahead and then see the final shape for the head, that is, instead of doing the circle. You know, I don't know if you guys find that easy, but then at the bottom we're gonna cut that part off too. And the reason we're doing this is just so we could get like a better shape, or like get as close as to the shape as to the as the reference as we can, you know, although we could always just make any changes later on. But for some reason I decided to do it this way. You guys could do the same thing, or you guys could just basically do the shape in a little bit, because I do end up erasing the extra parts right there outside of the shape that I did. So here I'm erasing it. You see, I don't know, guys, like the reason I did it this way is just to I don't know, I guess make it a little bit easier to do it, you know, that way other people could do it, as long as you guys have that circle at the beginning, like as close as you can to a perfect one. And then just doing this shape like that just makes it a little bit easier to get that shape, you know. Basically this is gonna be like the head, or like, you know, the hair and everything. So basically we're just trying to get that shape right there, and then right here is pretty much round. So we could always you guys could just try to get this shape right here, or you guys could do the circle at the beginning, whichever way helps you. So now that we have that, we're gonna do this reference line going right in the middle of the circle, splitting it right in the middle, and then a little bit higher right here. I'm pointing out where basically it should end, and it goes to around there, and it basically touches like right there at the bottom. And we're using that reference line that we did in the middle going down just to help us do this part. And if you guys look at the left side of the circle, it looks kind of like a moon shape. I don't know if you guys see it. It's almost like the shape of half a moon. Alright, so now a little bit higher than right there, than the bottom, we're basically gonna do this like teardrop shape. There we go. If you guys look close at the reference, you guys will probably see what we're doing. So basically that shape in the middle that we did is gonna be her face. Alright, now that we have that, we can now start adding the body, basically like the shape of the body, how long it is. So we could say that it's around 3 of those circles. So right here I'm using my fingers just to give a rough estimate. So that's 1, and then that's 2, and then counting the same one, it's gonna be 3, you know. So it's like the length of that. You guys could do it probably a little bit longer. If you guys saw my the finished product, or my final drawing, if you guys think my head is too big for the reference, you guys could always just extend that line a little bit more. And now a little bit, and you saw that line that we did, guys, the first one that we did, that's basically right in the middle of the circle. Now this one's a little bit more to the right, and just try to make it the same thickness, you know. And don't do your lines hard on this one, do them really light, because we're basically gonna be erasing these lines later on. These are just to help us figure out the length of Gardevoir and basically do the dress a little bit better. So remember not to do your lines that dark. Alright, so now that we have that, we're gonna do this shape right here, which is right there. I was basically pointing that it's like right in the middle, and then around here, I gotta say it's probably like half of the shape that we're doing earlier. So around there, do this shape right here, guys. And then we're gonna do another one following that line, but just a little bit on the outside and down here. And basically what this is, guys, is her arm. As you guys look at the reference. Sorry, guys. There we go. And like always, guys, if you guys look at the shape, it kind of looks like a V. So maybe that might help you make it a little bit easier, you know, follow it. So just try to get it as close as you can. So now we're right there. I did that reference line going at the bottom of her elbow, and now right here a little bit to the left and of that bottom corner, we're gonna do one of the legs. And you can't see this leg, but the only reason that I'm doing it is just so it could look right, you know, once we do our final drawing. That way the leg doesn't look like it's in an awkward position, you know. So we could just do it like this. And once again, don't do your lines too dark, because we can't see all these reference lines that we're doing. We're gonna cover those. This is just to help us and get the drawing a little bit more accurate. So we do that bottom line at the bottom, all the way at the bottom of her foot, going across the paper. That's just a reference line to help us. And then I did another one a little bit higher, and now from the middle of where the elbow is, like at the same level, we're gonna do this line. And this line is actually gonna be her other leg. So now we could just do it. And once again, don't do your lines too dark, because we're gonna be erasing these lines except where her foot is. So now that we have these guys, this is just to help us do the dress and get a little bit more proportion. That way we know where the leg comes out, because if we would have done the dress and then done the foot, then maybe the foot wouldn't have ended in a good spot, you know. It would have looked maybe she had like a broken leg or something. So it just helps doing it like that. Alright, so now right here for the top, we're gonna start adding all the details. So right here, do it like this way, which is one of those things that are sticking out of her face. I don't know what they are. And then it has a really small one that sticks out around there. So we're gonna use that line that we did before, that teardrop shape. And then her eye sticks out right here. And something I didn't notice when I was doing this is that her eye goes like further up. It goes so almost to the part where the first little like hair, I'm gonna call it a hair, guys, sticks out of her face. I guess I do it, but it should be a little bit longer. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so now that we have that, guys, right here, we're just gonna start by doing the hair, fixing it a little bit, and we're gonna add this line right here that she has. And now another one over here. If you guys notice, it cuts like the left side of the circle or the shape of her head. And right there, it doesn't look right, guys, but like I said, this is still a sketch, you know. Later on we could do the shape a little bit better and work on it. Alright, so now at the bottom of the little hair that's sticking out, or the little spike, we're gonna do this shape right here, connected to that, and it basically gonna give us the other side of her hair, right in the middle, right there in the point, and it should end right there where the spike is. It comes out of that spike basically. There we go, guys. She's not that hard, guys. Like, if you guys try to like follow the same shapes, you know, get as close as you can to the shapes, then the tutorial might be a little bit easier. So right here we could start by doing her neck, and her neck is actually really thin. I didn't know it was that thin till I started doing the drawing her. So there's a small gap in between her neck and her hair. If you guys don't have the space there, you guys could just leave it like that, you know. Alright, so now this is her arm, and it ends almost like at a point. Alright, so around here, I gotta say, we're gonna start doing her actual body, because she's really thin. So right there, we're just gonna extend that line basically. That's just gonna give us her like waist area, not her waist, but where the green splits into the white. That looks like a dress. And now she has like a collar right here, like a shirt almost. Alright, so now we're gonna do the pink thing that's embedded in her chest. So right here we're just gonna do this line that goes across her hand. The reason we're going across the hand is just to make sure that it ends up in the right spot on the other side. And then we're gonna do a straight line going across to the left from where we started in the chest area. And now we could just round this line off and connect it. It's kind of like an upside down shark fin. Alright, so now we could just erase the lines going through the hand because, like I said, it doesn't show up on the actual drawing. Alright, so now around there, a little bit lower, guys. But just try to make it at the same level, I guess, as the other arm. Right here, I make that one a little bit lower than the other one. I do fix that later on, I believe. But now we're going to do the other side of her other arm, that is. Now I start erasing that. And hopefully now you guys are able to basically see Gardevoir a little bit better, you know, starting to make a little bit more sense. And then her hair sticks out a little bit right here, like a little point. Once again, try to make it at the same level as the other side of her hair, like the one that's on her back, because they're the same level, you know. Alright, so now for the dress. We're gonna start off, we're gonna basically cut that part off because we can't see that, so that basically goes into the corner bottom left of the body shape that we did. And then it comes out a little bit outside of the box shape that we did earlier, the body shape, that is, where the leg is. And then it doesn't go lower than the actual leg if you guys look at the reference, and it just curves a little bit once it gets to the end, like that. It ends at a point like right at the same level as where the leg is. And now it gets pretty close to the leg, and it goes to around there. So now that we know where we're going, we could just connect both lines and just try to get the right shape of that part, because we're trying to get the same effect of the dress, like you know, like in the wind. So now that we have that, like I said before, not to press too hard on those lines, just because like right here we're doing it, we're gonna erase them. They were just there to help us do the body. You guys could have done the body on your own just by looking at the reference if you guys would have liked, but the reason I did it this way, it takes a little bit longer, but it makes it a little bit more proportion to the actual reference. And then like this, and it basically connects to the leg right there. Now we could erase the inside. And now for the top. So now from here we're gonna base this one right here, and this one has like a weird shape almost. It ends like a point right there. Now we need to see the other side. So we could just start it off a little bit here, but we're basically gonna go to the other side and see where it should end up. So it gets really close to that line, and it should end up right here, like right from the thing that's embedded in her chest. So it curves down. That's why it always helps if you're doing like a line, knowing where you're starting and knowing where you're ending, and then just meet up in the middle, you know, start off one side and then the other side, and then just look for the middle. Just makes it a little bit easier. And there we go. And now the last one sticks out around there, and then once again this one's right under her arm, so her arm or her elbow sticks out a little bit more, and it's really close to the other line that we did before right there. We just curve it, and there we go, we have it. So now that we have basically our sketch, guys, now it's just about going back, looking it over. Oh yeah, we missed one line right there, which basically it shows like under her dress a little bit. Alright, but now it's just about erasing all those reference lines, all those extra lines that we did. For example, those right here that I'm erasing, and just going over your drawing. For example, there, you know, that way it's not that confusing. Under the foot right there, and then just fixing it a little bit, you know, and just going over your drawing. If something doesn't look right, go ahead and change it. Remember, it doesn't have to look like my drawing or my sketch, that is, and it doesn't have to look like the reference. If there's something that you guys could change, go ahead and do it. Another thing that we missed was the other side of the pink. It looks like a guitar pick. The other side of the guitar pick that you guys can see that sticks out of her chest. And just try to make it align on the other side, you know, because think of it like a teardrop. So it's going through her chest, so it should basically line up, you know, on the other side too. So that's another thing that you guys could do. But yeah, just make any changes right now to your sketch. You know, like I said before, this is your sketch now. This is the time to make all your changes. So the way that I do it, after I have my sketch and I like where I placed everything, I end up erasing my whole drawing, my whole sketch. And the reason I do this is just so I could have like a cleaner drawing. You know, a lot of people, what they do is that they ink their drawing right now and just make any changes when they're using their pen, you know, going over those lines, and then they just once the ink dries, they just erase the pencil. But I erase it, you know, I erase everything and just make any changes there. So once it's erased, I start off by doing in one spot. For example, here on Gardevoir, I started on her face, like her teardrop face, you know, and then I did the hair, and then I started doing the hand, you know, the arm, and then the body. So I just go from there. I start at one spot and then just keep going from there. And I'm looking at the reference and at the sketch that we did earlier, because even though I erased it, I could still see those lines. If you pay close attention, you guys could still see them as well, but in person you guys can see them a little bit better. And basically just go from there, you know, and just start looking at the reference. And if you see that you could change something, now's the best time to do it. I didn't make that many changes. One of the things that I did change was her hair, the lines that are like inside her hair on the left side. I fixed those, you know. I messed with the shapes a little bit just because I couldn't get the right shape. So that's something that I took my time on. I also fixed the eye, like I said before, it should be a little bit longer the way I have it right now. Also on her, like the pink thing that's sticking out of her chest, I fixed the shape a little bit, you know, like made it a little bit better. And also her arm, making sure that it was like nice and even, you know, the same thickness throughout the arm. Because if you guys make the shoulder really thin and then the hand like really thick, you know, it's gonna look a little bit off. So that's one of those things that you guys might want to pay attention to, you know, just making it even throughout. And then, like I said before, her arm on the other side, I made it a little bit more even. If you guys look at the reference, actually the left one's a little bit higher than the one on the right, but I just made mine on the same level just to make it a little bit easier. But you guys could go ahead and make the one on the left a little bit higher if you guys would like that. And here's the final drawing, guys. And I just went through it, you know. I fixed the lines on the dress, because before we had the one where her left leg sticks out, the one like it's a little bit higher. The line from that dress, on the sketch we connected it to the one on top, and it's not connected. It has like a gap in between. So I fixed that, and then I just worked on the dress a little bit, you know, making it a little bit more natural, not making those lines too straight, because if they look too straight, then it's just gonna look a little bit off, you know, because it's a dress, you know, and I think it's a dress. It's flowing in the wind, so just making it, giving those natural like lines and everything. Maybe I made them a little bit stiff myself, but if you guys could do a better job, then go ahead. And basically that's it, guys. Just try to if my drawing is I'm sorry, guys, it's just when you're talking for so long, you kind of mess up with your words a little bit. But you guys could use my drawing here, the outline, just to finish yours, or you guys could just look at the reference and just try to base your final drawing off the reference. You know, that's why I have it there. If it helps you out, then go ahead. Alright, guys, so this is my final drawing, the way it ends up looking like you guys saw earlier. I used my Prisma Premier color markers to color Gardevoir, and then I ended up outlining it in black pen. So I used 3 different greens for the hair and for like the arm and part of the dress. the inside of her dress, that is. But if you guys look at the reference, there's actually 4 different greens. One is the highlight, which is the lightest one at top of her hair. I used just like a normal green, I guess, the lightest one that I had almost. And then there's like a medium tone, which is most of her hair. I used that also, although mine's a little bit more darker than the reference, just because those are the only greens that I had, you know. And I could have done all of her hair the same color as I did the highlight, but then I wouldn't have had like a lighter green to do the highlight, so that's why I did it like this. So just use the colors that you guys have, you know, make it work for you. And then she also has the darker green, which is basically the shadow of her hair. And then in the shadow of her hair, there's like another highlight, which is a different green also, which is almost like a bluish greenish color. Since I didn't have 4 different greens, I just used the same green as the, I guess, like I said before, the overall color of her hair, the medium color, that is. And just did the highlight at the bottom of her hair like that. So that's what I used for the hair. And then for the hands, her arms, I just used once again the same medium green that I did for most of her hair, and then also for the under her dress, you know, the part that's sticking out. And then in her, like the guitar pick that's sticking out of her chest, it's pink. If you guys look at the reference, there's 2 different pinks. One is basically the normal pink, and then the other one is like a shadow, so it makes it a little bit darker. I tried doing the same thing, but mine didn't end up like you could barely tell that I used 2 different pinks, just because I didn't go over it twice and you know, to make sure that it made it a little bit darker. But it's alright, you know, you guys could probably do that yourselves, you know. But it still doesn't look that bad, even though it's just the same pink throughout the guitar pick, I'm calling it. And then for the rest of her body, like the white area, if you guys look at the reference, it's a gray, a really light gray. The lighter, I think it's the better. That way it doesn't stand out too much. Like the one I have right here was my lightest gray. I actually had another lighter one, but I can't find it, so I had to use this one, and it stands out way too much on the dress, you know, and I don't really like that. So if you guys could even do it with your pencil, you know, just use the shading with your pencil. And I just looked at the reference, you know, and try to follow the same areas where the shadow would be, and just even if, like, sometimes like your drawing doesn't come out the same as the reference, so if you try to do the same shadows as the reference on your drawing, and your drawing is not the same, then it's gonna look a little awkward, you know. So if you guys could just work on the shadows on your own, like do them on yourself, just look at the reference as an example and make it work for your drawing, it'll look a million times better, you know, if you just try to copy the same shadows where the same lines, you know. So yeah, so that's another tip that I could give you guys, and basically that's it, guys. And like I said before, I ended up outlining Gardevoir in pen, black pen. Usually I leave it in pencil. I either use the pencil, the pen, or a Sharpie. The Sharpie is usually for like darker drawings, you know, darker colors, just so you could tell everything apart. The pen usually is just like, for example, here it works out really well. If I would have used the Sharpie, the lines would have stood out too much, you know, it would have been too much, in other words. And then if I left it in pencil, it would have still looked alright, but you wouldn't be able to tell some parts from others. For example, on the hair, you know, you wouldn't be able to see some of those lines. So just doing it in pen, it makes it work well. So that's it, guys. So if you guys did end up drawing Gardevoir, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know how it came out. Let me know if it turned out well. If you guys need any help, you guys could always also leave a comment. If there's any Pokemon that you guys want me to draw, make sure to leave a comment also. But remember that there's so many Pokemon, and there's so many requests, and there's only one of me, you know. So I try to do my best to do your requests as soon as possible, but don't get carried away, guys, you know. Not carried away, but I I don't know the right word for it. Just have patience, in other words, you know. Maybe you already did your drawing, you know. You guys can check out my channel. I have over, I think, 140 tutorials, so probably already did it, you know. I have a few playlists of like starters and legendary, so if there's a legendary you guys want me to draw, you guys can check my playlist. Maybe you already did it, you know, and megas also, so you guys could check out my channel for those. But yeah, guys, so I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next tutorial. Team Rocket Draws out.